Hi, Karen.
Hi, Anna. Good morning, good afternoon, good lunchtime, good evening, whoever's watching. Great to be back again with our meaningful conversations with Anna. And today we have quite an interesting topic. Today we are going to be discussing becoming a different you. Is there an area of your life that you want change in? Well, if you say yes to that, then in order to have that change and match that person who is living that life that is different, you have to become a different person. Otherwise, you'd already be living that life. You'd already have those changes. And so it requires certain things for us to become a different me. You become a different you, and Anna's going to share with us her thoughts on that. And so, Anna, I'll hand over to you to say welcome, Anna, and hi, and share what you want to talk about a little bit.
Thank you, Karen. You look beautiful in your brand color. I love how it picked up the feeling of winter, because in winter I myself choosing something really dark to keep me so warm.
Oh,
I love a bright color in winter, and I come from Vietnam. I really love bright color. There's
mm,
something about tropical country. We all love bright color.
mm.
Um, yeah,
You
so
know,
it's
that's why scarves are so good, because you
yeah,
can always add a touch of color with your
yeah.
scarf, and it doesn't matter then if you wear. I often wear black. I wear a lot of black, and
Mm-hmm.
if I'm all black, then I always look for a scarf that's colored or black and white.
Beautiful. And I know the story about that scarf. I know it's special because it's had. You can tell that story another time, but right now let's just go into becoming the person that is worthy of the vision that we are after. You okay? And talking about
I
that,
just
let's
mute
say
because
5
I'm
years.
coughing. I'll mute if I have to cough. I've been unwell, so that's another reason I want the bright color to make me feel better, to make me look better,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, and make me get better.
It's amazing how your work ethic is so relentless. I've seen you everywhere. You've done so many things, and you've been supporting so many people. And you're everywhere. Your presence is everywhere. It looks like you never rest. And there must be a desire to do something great. Otherwise, where do you get the motivation to do what you do? Yeah. So that is so admirable. Like, I'm hanging out with you, I think about Karen. Wow, look, she done. She's been everywhere. She's done this much. Every time I look at your profile, I feel like, oh my god, I better get up and do things. Okay.
And
Okay.
that's a really good point, because here's the thing: we have this tendency with where our thoughts go and our paradigms that
Yeah.
bring us, actually, if we're not focusing on that 10 out, 10 out of 10 life, that life
Mm.
that we would love, they actually stop us from doing all those things. They say, oh, you're feeling unwell, or you're not feeling energetic today. And don't get me wrong, I spent all of Sunday in bed and half of Saturday and half of
Mm.
Monday morning. So when I really have to, I do rest. But
Mm.
we have these paradigms, and there's two parts of us. There's the limbic part of the brain that is there simply to keep us surviving, and it's the part of the brain that keeps our heart beating and our lungs breathing. And it's the oldest part of our brain. And then there's the part of us that wants more. There's a part of us that has a constant pull to do more, be more, have more, and it's a universal pull as well. And so when we start to step out, we create a vision, or we create that dream, or something that we want to do that's different. The limbic part of our brain sees it as a threat, because it could put us in danger. It might
Mm.
stop us from what it's trying to do, which is just keeping us surviving. And so it brings up the negative chatter that we
Yeah.
get, that stops us from doing things, that causes us to be a what's the word, where you keep putting things off. I've just lost the word for a second. um you
Imposter
know
syndrome.
hmm? No,
Is it
when People
Procrastination.
procrastinator, yeah, causes us to be a procrastinator. Yes, it does cause imposter syndrome. It causes self-doubt. It says to us, oh, you really don't want to do that, do you? It's too hard. That requires lots of hard work. All those kind of comments come from
Yeah.
that limbic part of our brain to stop us from moving forward and stepping out and having more and doing more. And so it's really important that we understand that's there for a start. And so,
Yeah.
and it's really important that we create that vision of the outcome we want, of the life we would love, of where we're going. And we make the decision, this is actually what I want. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going for. So that when those negative comments come up, we can recognize what they are. We can say, that's just that part of the brain that wants to keep me only surviving. We can say, excuse me, I've decided I'm doing this. I've decided I'm going for more. I've decided I want this life. And so you just be quiet, and we replace it with positive beliefs, not limiting beliefs like it brings up. And we say things regularly to ourselves, and we read our vision regularly, and we reinforce the good things the good about us, the things that we are. And so that's what we mean by becoming a different person, because in the past maybe we've succumbed to that. But when you learn how it really happens, how life happens through us, and you understand this technology, then you can put it into place with a few processes, simple processes that can change your life. And you know that, Anna, don't you?
Thank you. I'm learning. But let's say I am a perfect story, a perfect example of becoming, like you said. Let's say 5 or 6 years ago, when I was so small, I thought very little of myself. Life is still have this force of pulling you back and pushing you forward. I felt like I'm in a current. Where the current take me, I'll go with it. And sometimes it took me to the wrong places, and I felt like so small, and I felt intimidated by almost everyone around me. Coming to, like, I was quite confident in Vietnam. I was a different version. And then I came to Australia, like a small fish in a big pond. I
Mm.
perceived like that. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I was a small fish. I'm 50
No,
kilos.
but that's exactly that's
Yeah,
where
but
you
then
put
I
yourself.
perceived,
Yeah,
yes, I
that's
perceived
where you
that
put
way. And I
yourself.
felt, sorry, what did you say?
That's where you put yourself. You said to yourself, I'm a small fish in a big pond.
I know,
That's
yeah.
where you
It
were.
was so just a thought
Mm-hmm.
in the mind, and I believed in it, and
Yeah.
I acted that way. In
Mm-hmm.
front of everybody, I became like invisible,
Mm-hmm.
totally unseen. And then I don't believe in anything I say, so I would not say anything. And there's no chance that I would sit here, have a conversation with someone like yourself. This is a new version of me, to be
Yeah.
able to sit here and have this conversation with you, with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And only a few years ago, I wouldn't do that. And I remember one day I turned up at a room where I exploring different things, and someone pointed me to that space and say, "There's this lady giving a talk about becoming a better version of you." And I said, there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. So I turn up, and in that conversation, it were 2 hours, and the lady was talking about a lot of things, but one thing stick in my mind: who do you think you are?
Mm-hmm.
And speak up, or something like that. And at the end, I took all the courage and my heart pounding like crazy
Yeah.
with a
Oh,
group of about 30 people. I said, but what if you think you are too small? Nobody listened to you. That's what the question
mm-hmm.
I put to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, you're not. And I didn't believe her. I didn't believe her that. But toward the end, she did this to me. I thought she ignored me altogether. She kept going on. She talked about the next thing. And I felt like she ignored me, and that's fine. People ignore me anyway because I ignore myself. And
Yeah.
then about 10 minutes later, the conversation finished. And then she said, hang on, everybody. I want you to do this one thing. And she gathered everyone around and she called me into the middle. She put me in the middle of the circle, and she tell everyone to circle around this lady, and she called me by name. She said, "No." At this point in time, I didn't adopt Anna. I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Yes, no, stand in the middle." And now everybody, what do you think of Ngọc? Do you think she's important? Do you think her place is important in the world?
Wow.
And then I was like, and they was just, I felt
Yeah.
so uncomfortable being in the middle
Mm,
of a
mm,
circle of stranger, total stranger around me, and everyone say,
mhm.
"You loved, you are important," and stuff like that. And I bust out into tears, like I'm crying like a baby. I felt so awkward, so strange, but I felt so cleansing. And I was hiding, I hold my tear back because it's like welling up, and I was trying to hold it back. And then she tell everyone, say, "You are loved, and you deserve to be heard. You're
Yeah.
important." And I left that room. I was just rushing into my car, and I let the emotion run. And I say, I did not understand what happening to me, but I couldn't stop
Yeah.
crying for so long. And then that affected me so strongly that I go further. I took a step further, one step further, and another step further to follow my instinct. Here I am today. So that is the story of change.
Wow. What an
Mm.
amazing, beautiful story, Anna. Thank you so much for sharing that. We've got some guests on here. We've got Dee Macardia and Gabrielle Costa. And they're saying, great to be here, Karen and Anna, Dee said. And Gabrielle helped me out with the word I was trying to find, procrastinating. Thank you, Gabrielle. And Dee thought that was a really powerful story. Um, so and Gabrielle said, we actually watching it, Dee. Do you know Gabrielle Costa, Dee? Well, you do now.
Oh, you know
I
each
mean,
other.
sorry, do you know Gabrielle, Anna? Do you know Gabrielle?
I haven't got a chance to
Okay,
really
okay.
connect in person, but I would love to, Dee and Gabrielle. And thank you so much
Mm,
for being here. And I say, from that person to this person who I am today, there's belief. Like I believe that everyone can change, because if I could, someone who thought so little of myself can
mm,
can change and can come out and can actually share who I am and my dreams. And looking from the outside, I'm really ordinary, but I do know I have that desire. I have that dream hidden, buried so deep within, and that's really annoyed me. It made me feel sick at some point, sick of
mm,
being so small, sick and tired of being nobody, when I know I have this quest to make my life something, like to use my life for a purpose, not just coming here to eat, go to work, come home and die, just
yeah.
living day in day out, repeating that survival mode until I retire. And then what do I do? Going downhill from there. I couldn't accept anymore. But we've got to get out and get some help. And I'm so grateful for that lady. If she listened to
Yeah.
this, she would remember.
Mm,
Remember. Occasionally, I've sent her a text and say how grateful I am for your act of kindness on that day. She didn't realize how important it is for her
I'm
to do
sure she
so,
did. I'm sure
and
she did,
how
Anna.
I know. I don't know what make her decide to do such a thing for somebody who she doesn't. Like I felt like I'm nobody. Why did she care? That's how I felt walking out of that room. But then
Mm,
a little act of kindness like that could be a massive act of kindness. When
mm,
I choose to grow, I choose to expand, I choose to talk to more people, I choose to not stay within my little circle of friends. I chose to go with so much uncertainty and so uncomfortable. I reach out to more people and make friends with people I perceive so successful. They're so way ahead of me, but I feel like who am I to talk to them? What do I have to offer in order to reach out? But when I reach out to you, I didn't have anything to offer. And maybe you want have the heart to give, so I'm happy to take. You know, I felt like
Anna, that's not true. We've all got something to offer. That's the thing. We mustn't think like that because we all have so much to offer. We're all
but
unique.
even if we think like that, we still can reach out, because after I read The Go Giver by Bob Berg,
Mm,
that book also changed me as well, because he talked about receptivity, not only just giving, you got to receive in
mm,
order to give.
that's right.
And that is like something that I felt, wow, it unlocked, like it opened up a new
Yeah.
way of thinking.
Mm.
and that give me a new, like, add to my mindset of, I have thought a certain way that didn't serve me at all. So I
Mm.
can change by learning a different way of thinking that serve me, so I can become a better person. Not a better person, but become more a useful person to other people. Yeah, so I would love to hear more of your story. What made you who you are today, doing all the amazing thing that you do, and adding so much value to everyone you touch.
Well, Anna, I think the big thing was becoming a coach. Apart from, the wonderful things I inherited from my dad, which were gifts he gave me without him really, I think, knowing or doing it on purpose around telling me I could do whatever I wanted to do when I grew up, and treating me as equal with my brother. And he had an attitude of girls can do whatever boys can do, and he taught me so many things. Um, and I think that's what gave. And also, he was a little bit of a um, person who didn't really follow the rules. He used to look for other ways of doing things if they served him better, and so he passed that bit on to me as well. And so really it was becoming a coach. I did live a lot of the things that I learned becoming a coach intrinsically or instinctively before I became a coach, which was things like the vision I created for one of the first big businesses that I had. And I had that business for 25 years. And I created the vision of how I wanted it to be, what it would look like in absolute detail, and then proceeded to go out and make it happen. And of course, that's how it happens. And that's the point about having to become a different person to live that life, because I had that vision of this really successful um, boutique clinic where we restored and maintained classic and executive English sports and executive cars. So Jaguar, Daimler, MG, Rover, Triumph. And that business, I had grown up in the automotive industry with my father running a similar kind of business, but not specializing in those prestige and classic cars. And so there were a lot of things I didn't know how to do. I didn't know what to do, but I
Mm.
believed enough in myself that I could do it. And so throughout that process, we ended up having that business, my husband and I, my former husband, for 25 years. And many of the people who, when we got out of that business, many of the people had been clients of ours for the full 25 years or close to it.
Mm.
And so I learned so much. I did become a different person to the person in my late 20s, I think, when we started that business. So that's the thing, is when we understand that we're not equipped necessarily with everything we require to live that life. We have to learn things. We have to grow. We have to become more aware. We have to get control of our own mindset and our own subconscious mind, and know about these limiting beliefs and chatterbox, itty bitty shitty committee, one of my friends calls it, the part of us that wants to stop us from being successful, and know
Yeah.
how to deal with it in order to continue to move forward and become that person living that life that we desire.
I
And do you
love
see?
your passion for life. I still really, I can feel that, I can feel the passion. And then I wanted to know this one, I mentioned earlier to you again, like you're the person that when I think of you, you don't need to be in front of me. Since I got to know you, just the thought of Karen give me the motivation. Do you understand? Yeah, it was just as a thought of Karen or Edward Zia, give me that. Oh, the work ethic. I want to be like that. So for me, growth means that. Mean I bring into my circle more relationship that is driving me forward. Relationship that give me the belief in myself and believe in the process of growth. And so in before I started my business, I worked for other people. So my concerns was all about my skill, the skill set I need in order to fulfill the role that I was paid for. Yeah. If I
Mm-hmm.
am a particular role, I don't need to expand my relationship outside of that role. All I need is people who know that so I
Mm-hmm.
can grow that skill only. So I got paid for that skill only. And that I didn't realize that limited my ability to earn more, to become more, and to create more. Because if you just in that within that circle, and the focus was on skill so much that sometimes I I disregard the relationship with my, like um, big manager or bigger manager, or like a bigger departmental connection with others area for the potential growth. So that limited me on the focus of ability only, a capability. And then later on with coaching and everything, and with hanging out with people like yourself and other mentors and coaches, I've learned that growth have to be at least three major aspects of growth. That is you've got to think differently. Your mindset have to change. You have to grow in your way of thinking. And that way of thinking come from lesson from someone who is so successful, someone you aspire to become. They pass down the lesson to you. You have their mindset. You will be having their kind of result. And then you've got to grow in your ability to connect with other people. You're willing to go out of your comfort zone to reach out, to build more connection. So quality connection with as many as possible. Can you handle that? Can you grow yourself in order to handle the conversation with people, in order to create that meaningful conversation, in order to create that meaningful connection for something? So when I started this process, I didn't have a purpose clear. I didn't know what I'm looking for. I just knew that there's something more in life. But then with the connection with people, the vision was given to me. I catch the vision. I've learned the vision. I learned the purpose, and I think I can do that. So it doesn't come by me sitting there thinking. It came from the connection, from opening up. So that is for me, growth is in those all area of list three major area.
Mm-hmm.
Have to change my mindset, have to change my ability to connect with meaningful conversation. I mean, connect with high quality people, because the people we hang out with will determine who we become, right? So yeah, and then the skill set fall into the place. However, it takes up to about 20%. When I used to use 100% of my time to focus on something that is only equate to about 20% of my results, which was wrong. I should focus 80% in the other area. Like most of the time is the 80% that determine my success is the relationship and the mindset. And I hardly spent time on that area at all before. So yeah, that's what I'm learning so far.
Anna, the internet is a little bit wobbly at the moment. I hope
Mm.
you can all hear us.
I
That's
talk too much.
fantastic.
Thank you for listening. But back to you, Karen. I would love to hear from you.
I think that's Thank you so much, Anna, for those 3 points. I don't know if it's your internet or mine. Those are really valuable points. And I want to pick up on a couple of them, and then we'll bring this to a close. I want to pick up about the one
Hello.
where you said, can you
Do
not
you
hear
still hear
me?
me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello?
I
Yes,
think we have
Anna.
some technical problem.
Anna, you've just come in again. You've just come in again, Anna. Can I hear you? I can hear you, Anna. So I can hear you. Shall I add? I will add you to stage
Yeah.
and
I would
remove
like.
this there. Hi, Anna. Can you hear me now? Oh, you've just gone into the background. Can you bring your voice up? So anyway, we're going to wind this up. Thank you so much for coming. I just want to address a couple of things. And can you hear me now, Anna?
I can hear you really well now. Yes.
The main thing I want to talk about is the willingness to be uncomfortable, because you're not going to become a different person unless you have a willingness to be uncomfortable when things come up, when challenges come up, when you go for something that you don't know how to do, or that you're not an expert in, or that you're not very eloquent in, shall we say. And that often comes up with people with, for example, public speaking or speaking in front of a group. And of course, that's one of the main ways that we can grow, that we can build our confidence, our self-esteem, and our abilities. So just look at those things when you feel uncomfortable. It means you're on the green growing edge of moving forward in some area of your life. So on that note, it's time for us to wind up. And Dee, you said you've got to receive to be able to give, and reply to that, talk about receiving and giving, and you're so right. And the thing I like to sort of draw people's attention to, I know quite a few people who are very giving, and they're always offering their help, offering their, services, offering maybe for a place to stay if some friend wants to come. But when it comes to them receiving it, they won't do it. And it made me realize that when someone receives, they're actually giving the gift to the person who's giving it. If you won't receive from someone, you're actually taking away that ability for
That
that
joy. Yeah. The
person.
joy of giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those people who are out there who are givers, remember, it's lovely to be able to receive and let that other person give back to you. Thank you, Rebecca, too. Lovely to have you on here. That's my final word for the day. Anna, do you have a final word for the day?
Oh, I'm just feeling so grateful for our time. This is you giving me your time, and I feel like I'm willing to receive as much of your time. And I so truly appreciate that. And I know you're supporting me so much on this process in the last year. And I'm so looking forward to the new year of grow together and learning from you and everybody. And by doing this, I grow a lot. I can see myself becoming more confident and because when you prepare to share something, you learn a lot. If you learn just for yourself, you don't learn as much as you learn to share. And if you learn to share and then you learn to show someone else so that they can learn and share, then that would be amazing. So I just realized that from now on, I would love to do it that way, growth by showing other people how you've done what you
Yeah.
do so that you get what you get.
Mm.
Yeah, so through that, you grow rapidly. Yeah, so that may be, I'm so grateful. I feel so grateful in this moment. Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you,
And I
Anna.
look forward to our conversation, next conversation. Yeah.
Absolutely. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be on again. And Dee is going to be my very first, while you're here, Dee, I hope you're still on. I just want to tell you all thank you for attending, those of you who are live, and then those of you who are watching. Dee McCardia, I hope I'm pronouncing your surname correctly, Dee, is going to be my first entrepreneur on my new series of Entrepreneurs Gold Nuggets. So
Oh,
look on
wow.
my LinkedIn, look at my posts, and find which day and time it is, because I can't remember off the top of my head. And we will be on talking to Dee about his journey through his business life and his entrepreneurial growth as well. Looking forward to that with you too, Dee. Thank you all, thank you all so much. Bye. Bye
Thank
for
you.
today.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank
Yes,
you.
Dee.
See you.
Thanks for joining us. And you too, Gabrielle and Rebecca. Bye.